Imagine this for a second. Someone comes to you and describes a video game. It's your run-of-the-mill collectathon released a decade after they were in fashion, lacking in any real challenge or need for skill, with awkward attacks and more awkward humor. It was made not to promote a media franchise, but the toys based on one, and was tossed on any relevant gaming platform that could handle even the most mediocre, boiled-down facade of the base game. So, you might ask, what exactly is this mysterious— fuck it, you read the title. It's LEGO Star Wars: The Complete Saga! Yeah, the game that's lived in our hearts and minds for over a decade now, the game that spawned countless memes and jokes.
What the fuck is that? Get my gaff, you green cunt!
The game popular enough to get a fully fledged next-gen remake with new levels based on the newer movies, and a trailer shown off at fucking E3! At this point, LEGO Star Wars is at least a mid-sized internet phenomenon, but it seems like it shouldn't have been. Like, let's be honest here, this thing is a shameless advertisement, but I find myself looking back on it more fondly than any of the actual movies. So I wanted to go back and play it again, to see if I could figure out why this game works, what makes it so much fun, and this video is what I've come up with. This is why we love LEGO Star Wars. Now, obviously, the first reason for the game's status is the brand itself. Kids love Star Wars, kids love LEGO, put them together and you're selling toys. Put it on the Wii and you're gonna start printing money. In its presentation, the game makes full use of the intersecting properties. There are 6 collections of 6 levels, based on each of the movies at the time, and they cover pretty much everything. Episode 6 spends 2 levels on Jabba's palace, 2 in different scenes on Endor, and 2 covering the Death Star battles. It's not perfect, they had to skip half of Episode 1's shitshow of an ending. Oh wait, never mind, they didn't. We'll get to some of these bonuses later on. Throughout the levels, there are a number of low-budget cutscenes using Looney Tunes-esque comedy to portray these iconic stories. For example, this is how that scene in Empire goes down. Amazing. And it's really clear that the people who made this game had a passion for Star Wars. Like, take this example. Level 4 of Episode 5. It's based on Luke's time in the swamp with the frog guy. You know the one. The level begins when Luke crashes into the swamp, R2 is launched out by some horrible creature we never see, then they get to Yoda's hut, Luke starts to learn the ways of the Force with Yoda's help, then he can lift rocks and stuff on his own, his final test is to travel the spooky dark side cave, he sees a vision of Vader inside and fights him, before leaving the planet to go to Cloud City. It isn't exactly how it all happened in the movies, a lot of dialogue scenes are swapped out for gameplay, but it hits all the marks, right down to Luke's inability to lift his X-Wing, forcing Yoda to do it for him. A lot closer than the SNES games were, that's for damn sure. Pretty much every level takes this kind of approach, covering the most iconic scenes and locations from the series with varying degrees of accuracy. The trench run, Jango Fett on Kamino, everything on Hoth, the speeder chase, that weird-ass part where the clones wear robes.
What about the droid attack on the Wookiees?
That too. They even went to the trouble of making the doors in each level's hub match the movies too. Ego? Oh, LEGO. Yeah, that makes more sense. And speaking of, the other major component here is, of course, the toy brand.
With the ATTE, victory is in your hands!
It doesn't go full LEGO, but it gives off the look of LEGO minifigures wandering around a diorama. For everything that moves, though, it's full-on plastic. Background Star Destroyers, AT-ATs, even the Death Star itself are real sets that you could have bought at the time. Every character, collectible, vehicle, and just a bunch of other random things are made from the toys as well. It's a lot of fun looking back at how janky some of these old characters were, and of course, they managed to capture the strangely unique sounds that LEGO pieces can make. But beyond the brand, how about the gameplay? What makes that so good? Well, I'm glad you asked. It all boils down to this. Well, okay, maybe there's a little bit more to it. LEGO Star Wars: The Complete Saga for the Nintendo Wii, Nintendo DS, Xbox 360, PS3, Microsoft Windows, Abomination Against Mankind, Android, and iOS is something between a button-mashing arcade game and a collectathon. The combat is about as deep as a LEGO puddle, but that really isn't the focus anyway. A lot of the game boils down to simple puzzles, even making up the majority of the boss fights, forcing the player to switch between all of the characters at their disposal. There are a number of unique abilities. Characters with guns can grapple, Force users can use the Force, Jar Jar can jump high, and they're all needed to progress at different points, where the really comes in is with the currency, collectibles, and characters. What Star Wars is really about. There are layers to the accumulation of wealth and various knickknacks in this game. At the base level are studs, these little things that look much better in the game than real life. Think of them like coins, but without the extra life. You have infinite lives, because this game's made for kids too young to play with the actual Lego sets, because they would try to eat the Legos and suffocate. Those idiots. Studs are used to fill the true Jedi bar at the top of each level, which rewards you with gold bricks, but we're not even close to talking about those yet, god damn it. Every level has 10 mini-kits, which come together to form slightly less mini-kits, and a red brick, which we'll also get to later. It's kinda hard to talk about a game like this, where all the mechanics interact so well, but these two are the most interesting collectibles, as they're often only obtainable in the game's free play mode. Yeah, in keeping with how modular LEGO is, and the ability to put whatever weird-ass characters in any scene you want, the game allows players to go back through every level with whoever they want. Then the game will autofill the other options based on what kinds of abilities are needed. Beyond fighting Palpatine as Palpatine with Palpatine, or facing off against Boba Fett as Dexter Jetster, this lets the designers make every level feel new again. Well, kind of. It's fine. It's fine. It's cool. Not like repetitive tasks or anything new to LEGO. Oh, right, collectibles. So the mini-kits aren't just there to look cool, though they certainly do in the gallery. They can also be used in bonus missions, but we still aren't there yet, so hold on for now. The red bricks are used to unlock extras, except they aren't really unlocked because you still have to buy them, but they open them up in the shop. Extras are basically cheats, except not really, because there are also actual cheats in the game, and I still remember Evil R2 after all this time. But extras are a lot like cheats because they're literally toggles you can go in the menu and switch on and off, and they do things like regenerate hearts, multiply your studs, let you honk your horn in vehicles, and Super Gonk mode. I mean, how could you say no to that? And then the highest tier of collectibles are the gold bricks, the true goal of the game, kinda. This game doesn't really have a specific goal, just play the levels and have fun, really. That's probably why the newer LEGO games have gone in such a sandboxy direction. But gold bricks. They are the highest tier of reward in the game, the ones that take the most time to collect, and collecting them all gets you a
money fountain.
You get these as a reward for completing other objectives, beating a level in story mode, getting true Jedi, beating bonus challenges, flat out buying them from the store, beating other bonus challenges, completing a mini-kit, beating the other bonus challenges. Hey, let's talk about the bonuses now. Bonuses. This game has bonuses. Bonuses for days. At least a third of the content here is bonuses. But what are these bonuses? Well, first of all, there are more ways to play the main levels. A challenge mode forces you to collect 10 blue mini-kits in 10 minutes, and the super story mode challenges you to get 100,000 studs across every level in an hour. I didn't play much of these, and you don't need to for the gold bricks. Then there are these even more arcadey modes where you have to get a bunch of money. One is any character of your choosing, and the other is the ships built by the mini-kits. They kinda feel like filler, but these are bonuses, so whatever, can't complain. And then, after finishing every episode of the main game in story mode, you can access the bounty hunter missions. The idea here is that Jabba needs some people found, so the whole squad goes out and searches for them. There are 20 levels in total, each gets you a gold brick, and they usually play out like this. Yes, dude! Oh man, that was a fucking close one. However, these bonuses hardly even qualify as bonuses. If you want the real bonuses, you've gotta head to the bonus room. And unlike the rest, these are worthy of the name bonus. You can unlock them all with varying numbers of gold bricks, and they are the pod race. Apparently this is based on the version from the first LEGO Star Wars game, rather than the version that's in this game. Now it seems like both versions have given people trouble over the years, and it did here for me too. Anakin's flight. I'm assuming this was the designers realizing that they can't fit the rest of the movie and all 4 of Episode 1's endings into a 6-level structure, so their solution was to do the Theed Palace Naboo stuff in 5, Darth Maul in 6, have this stuff as a bonus, and put the Gungan battle for the Windows XP screensaver in a cutscene. If you ever get a chance, by the way, check out George Lucas and the team watching the ending to Episode 1 for the first time, and see the editor desperately try to explain why the ending is such a failure to the Oscar-winning writer-director with decades of experience.
I may have gone too far in a few places.
In a space of about 90 seconds, you go from lamenting the death of, a hero, to escape, to slightly comedic with Jar Jar, to Anakin returning with his little kind of tag. It's a lot, and it's a very short time.
The level itself is fine. It's like a watered-down version of the second Death Star battle, so it's very faithful to the film. Next up, we have the original Gunship Cavalry. Same situation as the pod race, but the differences are more pronounced. Whereas the complete Saga level plays out like most spaceship levels, with free movement, this is more like an isometric shooter, and it's very, very difficult. Some might say a bit too difficult for a game made for 6-year-olds. And now we have the best level, that scene from New Hope. It's actually a lot more interesting than Rogue One was, because you get to see everything play out from the villain's perspective. Egg? Oh, Lego, yeah! Fifth is Lego City, a massive open world where the goal is to run around, wreck up the place, and make $1 million. You get money from people, breaking things with the Force, other Force things, everything. You don't get to keep the money. And last, we have New Town, which is more city than Lego City, and it's just more of that. Some parts are a bit too similar to Lego City, and I got stuck near the end because I didn't figure out how to get the boat working, but otherwise, it's just more arcadey Lego Star Wars fun. In fact, when we get down to it, I think that's one of the major reasons for this game's success. The simple fun of playing an arcade game, running around, watching the numbers climb. The game's low difficulty allows a younger child to enjoy it, and the collectathon aspect, the need to unlock every extra, every character, every vehicle, and every minikit. It lets the game appeal to an older audience as well. Seemingly endless content ensures that you can play this game for hours. I had nearly a full day by the time I was done with it. But even beyond the gameplay, I think there's something else that makes us remember it over a decade later. When you're a kid, playing with toys is mostly about imagination, visualizing a scene in your mind, playing it out between the characters, whether it's one you've seen in the source material or not. Anything can happen, any character can meet, and you decide how these scenes play out. LEGO Star Wars brings those scenes to life, and gives you the same freedom. You can even build a character of your own, whoever you think would inhabit this world, and use them anywhere in the game. The freedom, the time spent, the way it not only captured our imaginations but built on top of them, this is why we remember this game so many years later. I recall figuring out how to get a minikit early, playing level 1 of episode 3 over and over and over to rack up enough studs to get another character, being absolutely ecstatic when I finally gained access to the invisible ghost, stumbling on this hidden Indiana Jones, spending hours and hours looking for that one last piece in Lego City. It isn't a perfect game by any stretch. In fact, it's kind of depressing that such a transparent merging of different brands can have this much of an impact on me, but it does. This janky little license game gave me the same sense of wonder and excitement that a well-crafted 3D sandbox platformer like Mario Odyssey does, using a perfect blend of comedy, characters and scenarios I already loved, and an endlessly addicting style of gameplay. And when we really get down to it, the LEGO Star Wars branding is only a small part of that. This kind of game is still good and still fun without it. We have dozens of other great LEGO games to prove it. Without the talented development team at TT Games, this wouldn't have worked at all. It's their hard work and their passion that shines through and really makes this something special. And that is why we love LEGO Star Wars. Thank you very much for watching. I've actually been working on this thing on and off for about 1.5 years now. It'll be nice to get all the gameplay footage off my hard drive now that it's finally over. Let me know what you thought of this video in the comments or my Discord server linked below. And if you enjoyed it, check out some of my other videos on games like Mario, Binding of Isaac, and Half-Life. I've got a lot more coming up throughout the year too, so why not hit that subscribe button? I'll see you in the next one.